Are you an editor? Do you like movies? Have you ever heard of the word flow? It's this buzzword that people throw around, but sometimes they don't really know what it means or how to get it. Well, today I'm going to show you one simple trick to getting flow. It's super easy. Stick with me. Let's get started. Okay, the most basic concept that we have to tackle here in order to understand how to build flow is the song. Most songs that we use in frag movies are basically a combination or a grouping of 4 beats, just repeated over and over again, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? We'll call that, for the sake of this conversation, a bar. A bar is 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? Let's listen to this really bad song that I got off of freesound.org, okay? And let's see if we can hear those 4 beats. Did you hear that? Here, let's listen to it again, but this time I'll count it out for you, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Did you hear that? All right? That's the most important part, identifying where the bars start and end, because that's how you're going to start and end your scenes, okay? So let's do ourselves a favor and let's actually make some markers on the timeline so we can visually see where the start and the end of a scene should occur, okay? Okay, so the first one's easy. It's obviously going to be right at that first beat. So we're just going to hit M, and we're going to put it right there at the beginning. Okay, cool. Let's count out 4 beats, and let's put our next marker on the 5th beat, which is going to be the beginning of the next bar, okay? Because remember, a bar is 4 beats. So on the 5th beat, that's the first beat of the 2nd bar. Does that make sense? Here, let me show you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay, cool. So this is the beginning of the next bar here. Let's play it out one more time. Right there, okay? So as you can see, it's a little disorganized around here, but you can kind of check out and see there's like a more condensed waveform right here. That's that beat right there, that 5th one, okay? Let me count it out for you again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, okay? Right there. Oh, it's actually 1 frame before that, right there. Okay, cool. So we made our first bar, right? We made our first grouping of 4 beats, okay? Now, the easy way to find the next bar, the next grouping of 4 beats, is just to drag along the top here, all right? And then move it over, and then it basically just measured out another 4 beats, okay? So it should start right about here, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay, as you can see, it's a little less aggressive, this beat here, okay? All right, let's do one more. Move it over, and then it should begin right about here. Actually, it's probably gonna begin 1 frame over. Okay, cool. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. And actually, just for the sake of it, let's just add one more. So as you can see, this is the next beginning of the next bar here. Okay, we'll just put it before it, since it happens before or after the frame. Okay, cool. So as you can see, songs are very mathematical. There's a science to creating songs. As you can see, 4 bars or 4 groupings of 4 beats creates a section in a song. And then usually artists will switch up the melody after those 4 bars or those 4 groupings. Sometimes it's 8, sometimes it's 16, but it's always in 4s, okay? So we can use that knowledge to then blueprint our frag movie to make frags happen at the beginning of each of those sections, okay? Or at the beginning of each of those bars. Okay, so now that we identified where each bar begins, let's talk about utilizing this knowledge and this setup here to design our frags. Let's get to the meat and potatoes. Let's actually design a frag to have flow to it, okay? I know you've all been waiting for that, and we've talked so much about song structure and how that helps create flow, but let's actually put this all into action. Okay, so I got the spray scene from Glaive here on Dust 2, okay? Now, remember what I said. We want to take advantage of the mathematical structure of a song, okay? And our frag movie is going to be mathematical, okay? So we want shooting to start on the beginning of a bar or the beginning of a measure. We actually don't want the scene change to happen at the beginning of a bar or at the beginning of a measure. We want the shooting to start at the beginning of a bar or at the beginning of a measure, okay? Okay, so let me show you. All right, so let's see here. We've got the shooting starting right there, okay? So what we want to do is we want to drag this over to our number 5 marker because that's the beginning of that next section, right? That's the beginning of the bar, okay? And we're going to put the shooting right there. Now, as you can see, the marker is actually behind where the first beat of the next measure starts. So we're just going to line it up perfectly. Okay, cool. All right, so that's it. I just created flow, okay? I just created flow by making sure that the shooting starts on this beat, okay? Let's take a listen to that. All right? Let's see how it sounds. So I'll start it 2 bars before that starts, okay? So ready? Did you hear it? It felt good, right? It felt like it belonged there. There wasn't like a discordant or dissonant feeling to that shooting starting. It started right on that section change, that melody change, and it felt right. Okay, so let's throw another frag on there, because your frag movie's not going to just be one frag. Let's start combining this frag with other frags to see how this all fits together, okay? Okay, cool. So I've got a scene here from Device, and it's a pistol round, okay? All right, so let's build out this next section here a little bit, okay? So let's add some more measures here. So we're just going to, like I did before, we're going to just click here and drag over to the next marker, and we're just going to measure it out. Let's just make sure, let's solo this. Okay, cool. Yep, that sounded like the beat started there. Okay, and then let's measure it out again. Okay, yep, you heard that beat there, so that's where that one starts. Let's measure it out again. As you can see, these are a little more pronounced, the beats here. Do you see how condensed this waveform is, whereas this one's a little skinnier? Okay, let's measure out, and it looks like the end is going to be a couple frames before, so right there. Okay, cool. Let's listen to this part one more time. Let's see where this frag ends, and then where this frag ends actually decides for us where this next frag is going to start, okay? So let's take a listen. Okay, so as you can see, the shooting ended in the middle of this bar, right? It didn't end at the beginning or at the end. It ended in the middle, okay? So what we have to do to create flow with these 2 frags is we have to let the rest of this bar play out, okay? Before this frag sequence starts, okay? Because if we start this frag sequence right away, in the middle of this bar, we're going to lose the flow. We're going to lose the tempo, and we're going to lose that fluidity between the scenes, okay? So what we can do is we can do a simple, crossfade if we want, or it really doesn't matter what you do. That's up to you as an artist. But here, let's add. But what's important is making sure that the shooting starts at the beginning of this bar here, okay? Cool. All right. Okay, cool. So I just added in this frag sequence. It fades around midway through this bar after Glaive is done shooting in this scene. And then the shooting in this scene starts at the beginning of this bar on the 7 marker here. Okay, so let's take a listen to that and see how it flows. Actually, that sounds pretty cool with this last little... Okay, so as you can see, this last shot happens before this bar begins. So if we wanted to, we could actually start another scene on this bar here. Okay, so this isn't going to be perfect, but I'm just showing you how this would work. So let's listen to this. Ready? Okay, did you hear that? So all of these scenes all start at the beginning of the bars, okay? And that creates this really harmonious feeling, right? Because it feels like everything just happens on the beat, okay? And that's the most important part, starting things on the beats. Okay, obviously I'm just showing you the basic fundamentals of this. You don't have to put frags one after another. You can put a camera here or some cool transition, but what I'm showing you is the basic fundamentals of flow. Make sure that camera lasts a bar. Or make sure the camera lasts 2 bars, but make sure it lasts in multiples of 4 beats, okay? Don't make a camera last 1 beat and then start it on the 2nd beat. Or don't make a transition last 3 beats and start it on the 4th beat. That just feels clunky. You're gonna lose the flow and the fluidity of the scene progression, okay? It's so important to make sure that you are keeping track of your beats and how many beats have gone by and when you start and end scenes, because that's gonna help you create the ever elusive flow.